What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cactus Quest Show. I'm your host, Hunter. You know what it is, and today is a very special episode because we are at the Los Angeles Arboretum for the Intercity Show.
What is the 62nd annual Intercity Show? Yeah, 62.
62.
It's crazy, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. It can't be.
35th
annual. I was gonna say, I'm like, Woody
60,
co-founded it, so that would make him
109.
All right, so we are here at the Arboretum. It is not even 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we are here. We got a line already. There's some of the usual suspects have shown up, and some newbies. So we're gonna walk over and see what we got. Hey guys, looks like early birds got the worm, huh? How you guys doing?
We're holding up. How you doing?
Where are you guys coming from?
Coming from Chicago.
From Chicago? Yes. You guys have a nursery out there, huh? Yeah, what's it called?
Plant Shop Chicago.
Plant Shop Chicago.
Right to it.
Awesome.
Plant Shop Chicago.
And then we saw you hanging out with these two knuckleheads yesterday on the shed, huh? Yeah.
He's a bad character right here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good morning, Edgar.
Good morning, guys.
I'm waking up. It's early.
It is early.
We're here for plants.
What, Hunter? What's happening?
We're waiting to be the first invited into.
What are you after today, sir?
I'm not finished. We're waiting to get into the plant show. Because what's better than plants? Not sex. Oh.
Now, the reason that Michael is so excited is because the Intercity Show is a place where over 7,000 people come to visit. Some of the country's best cactus and succulent growers and showers. And matter of fact, this could be one of the largest shows in the world. And we just got early access from the president, Tom Glavich. Let's get in there. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Having a great time. We got in early here. Hunter and I arrived about 6 a.m. and there was already some folks in line. It's busy here. The sales area is opened. People are grabbing what they're looking for and getting in line to pay. We're going to take you inside the show area here in a little bit. But first, we're going to walk through the sale area and see what suspects we can find and get a little glimpse of what these people are after.
Pot man himself. Well, that sounds bad. The pot man.
The pothead. Even worse, right?
Hey, you know
It's
what?
all
It all
good,
works.
eh?
Everything's got a double meaning.
Right?
Pulling out some new styles for the show. How long have you been making pots?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
How did you get started?
Started in a dog continuation in 2005.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you just loved it.
Oh yeah, after that I went to 6 different schools. Went to Mount Sac, to Citrus College, and here we are now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many of these, this is the 32nd annual, how many of the Intercity shows have you done?
5. This is my 5th one.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it is a
And here
total
we are,
success for you,
right?
dude.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep rolling around.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, these are all about this big. I put it in the ground. It's in full sun, by the way.
Okay, good to know.
I like turtles.
What do you got? What do you got,
I
man?
got a Discorea, euphorbia japonica, and I think
Gigas?
gigas, I think.
I got one of those too. That's a great choice.
Excited.
Oh yeah, load it up, baby. Load it up.
And the sales area is popping. You can see the Tephro cactus here with some Astrophyta mysterious. There's some booby cactus, and you got everything. So if cactus isn't really what you're after, there's plenty of succulents and caduciforms and all kinds of other plants, pachyhaw trees and everything.
Hey, my friend Ed.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Exhausted, actually.
You are exhausted?
I only slept like 3 hours.
You talking to me? I got 2
Were you
babies at home.
just too excited for the show? I was actually.
Look at that, dude. With the Mellow Man, custom engraved.
That's your pot.
Beautiful. Is this the one that the Azuro cactus was in? Browningia hertlangiana. What is I always pronounce it incorrectly. Beautiful. How cool is that? Just such a great community. That's rad. So not only can you get amazing plants, but look at this beautiful pot. This is made by a local ceramicist named June. And I mean, God, that's just lovely. Can't wait to take this home and pot some into it.
All right, we're here with a legend in the cactus community. We got Arnold. Good morning, Arnold. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah?
Now you're rumored to be the legendary Rose Bowl Ariocarpus seller. Is that right?
Not really, but I sell a lot.
So these are my boxes. Got a couple of nice little items here. We all know Michael.
How many items did you get?
I don't know. I didn't count them. Math is not my strong suit, you know? It's all quality.
Okay,
All right, look at this. So here we are.
here we are.
These are all the folks in line right now. This line has been here for at least about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
All the good people shopping.
I think if we just stick around here, we're going to see all the usual suspects. We got David Selegna Soul here, packing his stuff up in the save area. Good morning. What do you got, David?
Got Ariocarpus. I got big turnip.
Oh yeah, you got the Ubelmania?
Ubelmania. Got some Ketoy.
Oh, some nice Ketoy pots.
With good
Hot
taste.
Yeah.
Is that a Turbine carpus in there?
It may be.
Macro Shelly? What is that?
My Turbine carpus.
That's a beauty. You are kind of the Turbinicarpus king, I think, huh?
Kind of like them.
All right, we're here at the plant holding area. We got Gavin. How you doing, Gavin?
Doing all right.
Good morning. So what? You're a volunteer here. What's your role and what's this table about?
All right, so right now, like this gentleman's showing up with his plants. So what we're going to do is we're going to set them aside if people want to walk around, if they want to, see the arboretum, go inside, and we make sure that no one runs off with their plants. So when they're ready, they come pick them up and they can take them home.
It's an important role. We thank you for your service.
Good to see you guys.
We got Euphorbia in the house. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. How you gentlemen doing?
We're doing fantastic, man. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you. This is my first. I think
Your
you're gonna
first
ask me.
one?
This is my first one. Yeah.
It's my first one too.
Awesome.
For some reason, people are surprised. Like, really? I'm like, yeah.
We've only been in the game a couple years. We're not old dogs just yet,
There wasn't one last year. I already bought everything.
What'd you get?
It's right here.
Let's do a little peek here. Walk us through what you got here.
I got a Haworthia. Been wanting one of these. Got me a little pine cone euphorbia over here.
Nice, a buplifolia.
Euphorbia. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. I didn't go crazy. Little Denia.
I ended up going for it.
Spinosa. Yeah.
Yeah. I got one too.
Good morning, Peter. How are you?
Morning. Hey,
We saw the truck filled of unbelievable specimens here. What do you got going on here?
Oh, I got all my show plants, about 60 or so.
60 or so.
Some already in the show.
How long did it take you to pack the truck? When did you start?
Yesterday morning.
So full day.
Full day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was getting dark when I finished.
Is there any class of plants that you're not entering a plant in?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch.
But you're covering most.
I cover the stuff I grow, that I like.
Good to see you, man.
All right.
Awesome. We'll catch you in there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're about to enter the show area. We're going to go see who's in there and see what kind of plants we can check out.
All right, let's do it.
35 years of epicness.
Where do we even start?
Have you ever seen that many cephaliums in one place? I mean, look at all of the different forms and shapes and spines and colors and ribbing and, oh my God, presentation. Oh, who's that? Is that DA Pottery? That's DA Pottery. Oh my God, look at that. How many copiapoedura heads you see right there? More than you've ever seen in one place at one time, unless you were in the Atacama Desert? I mean, that was the first place collection for the scenarios. Ooh.
So for those of you that are not aware, I recently started making pottery during the pandemic, and it's super cool and a real honor to look at what my favorite section in the show, which is the copiapoedura section, and then to notice that 2 of the copiapoeduras in the show are actually in my pots. So I made that pot right there, and that was placed in by Angela Toledo. And then this one right here with a beautiful copiapoedura cinerea in it, I also made that pot, and that was entered in by Josh Hurwitz from Desert Creations. Super cool, and I had no idea. It's not like I coordinated it with them. That just happened organically, which is really nice. And there's another pot over here that Gary Duke put in the show. It's got a beautiful mammillaria in it. So we got Mammillaria schumannii in flower in a nice little handmade pot that I made. Very cool. Honor. Shout out to Gary Duke. So, Euphorbia abdulcurry. Here we go. Fucking backbreaker. Oh man. That is one plant, Mike. One hell of a plant.
Oh, shit. So now we got to figure out what's a front, dude.
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. The lighting for you is on the other side. Yeah, right? It's
kind
much
of
better lighting over here. Dude, wow, yeah, that's...
You know, you know what?
That's the front.
You think so? Yeah.
You come around here and look at this thing, dude.
Yeah, but then it's the front in that light.
I would leave it here.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I mean, that is... So tell us a little bit about that plant. What
it's Euphorbia abdulkuri. I originally got that plant as a single stem. There's just one branch, and then one year it started branching, sent out a couple of branches like over a couple of years, and it was in a really, really nice, I'd like to say it was a tall like aruka pot.
Yeah.
And it was like time to repot it. I could tell it was like a little bit skinny, it was round and a little taller. And maybe it wasn't an aruka pot, I don't know, but it was a nice ceramic pot. I couldn't get it out. So I'm like, okay, fuck up the plant. I mean, or mess up the plant.
Right.
Or mess up the pot. So dude, I like $60 pot, boom, just took a hammer to it.
Smash it.
Yeah, just to remove it. And so that's kind of now my policy for like really nice plants is like, you know, I can always get another pot, but just bust a pot, bust it. And what I learned last year trying to capture the seed is they're super tiny seeds. Kind of like, you know, the size of the Gymnocolicioides seed? They're like tiny. And so this plant doesn't lend itself to being put into a container where you can like kind of contain. So I came up with a bunch of different ideas, and one of my ideas that I kind of liked was taking cotton balls and opening cotton balls and sticking the cotton ball around and then using some string to tie it to the cotton ball. No, the wasps are doing this. It's selfs. It's a self-fertile plant.
Put your shirt back on.
No, keep it on. I don't even know who you are with the shirt on, dude.
Who is that guy?
You look like a guy I know that makes pots, but I can't quite place it. Okay, Ketoy hand delivering the pot of the century here. Woo!
You know what? I'm concerned about this, Keith.
It's going to take up a lot of real estate.
Yeah, I feel like there's not enough drainage in here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where's all the water going to go, dude?
More holes.
See, I told you this. That's it. This is how he was when we were up there, dude.
We've got our brother here, Ketoy. Show us some of the pieces. I know you've been working on some new techniques with glazes and different things. Can you walk us through some?
Well, this is the scrapper. These are the ones when I make this style. I have all these scraps, so instead of throwing them in the recycle bin, I throw them in a mold and I make stuff like this.
That came out really good. That's awesome.
Yeah, surprised it's still here. And then, you know, I do the wheel, I do hand building, I do slab building, just whatever.
Do you have a preference?
Hand building is, I don't know, it's more I get bored with the style and then I move on.
Yeah.
So I do 2 or 3, 4 of one style, get bored, go to the next style, get bored, go out and play with the plants, come back in, do a little more, get bored. You know, that's that attention deficit, you know.
I see you making pots, you know, different sizes that you're putting up for sale, but what I see you do a lot of times is from an artist perspective, you find a plant and then you make a pot for the plant.
Correct. That's the favorite. That's my favorite way to create whatever I'm doing.
Creating that unique vessel for each plant, give it a nice habitat.
And the best example of that is that Gymnocolicum that you brought in here with the back that goes all the way up.
And then also the Cyphostemma.
Yeah.
I made that pot for that.
That's awesome.
Specifically. So if you they both follow the curve of the plant.
Yeah.
And that's the most part. That's the fun part.
Well, dude, you're. I think I may have told you this before, but following you and watching your pottery and seeing what you're doing has inspired me, along with a couple of other guys, to start trying it for myself and stuff too. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, what are you thinking about all these guys, up and comers, doing this pottery, Keith?
You got to start somewhere. I was the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like you guys are inspired by me. I was inspired by Debbie Ball, and that type of thing.
For sure.
It just kind of evolves. And, everybody.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, you kind of copy it first, and then you figure out your technique, your style, your whatever, and go from there.
Absolutely,
awesome.
Man. Well,
thanks, Keith, for showing us around. Amazingly beautiful pottery here, and it's always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, it's always fun. Plants, pots, people. Can't get any better than that.
Good afternoon. I'm here with world famous Artie Chavez, owner operator of Desert Creations. How you doing, Artie?
I'm doing very well.
So, how many years has the Intercity show been going on?
It's been going on 35 years, less last year, which everything was shut down. So.
And you've been involved since you were 1 year old. You're about 35 now, right?
Yeah.
We're like the same age, I think.
14 years old. And I've been here at the Intercity Show for 35 years.
Give us a little bit of background or history on how this evolved and into what it is today.
So it started out as just two clubs hosting the sale and show. And it was the Long Beach Club and the LA Club.
Okay.
And it was the Long Beach Club had the showers and the LA Club had the workers. So Larry Grammer, who's passed away, who was a great shower and stager, and probably started most of the staging with rocks and that kind of stuff, got with Woody, and we got with the two clubs together, and we put on the very first show. Then the year after that, the San Gabriel Club came in, and it was Woody. Fred Hufflitz was part of the San Gabriel Club, and Larry Grammer of the Long Beach Club. Okay. And so they did it for the first 4 years. Fred Hufflitz kind of backed out. Charles Spots came in, who now lives in, I think, Lancaster now, moved up to Paso Robles. And so they did it, and then when Larry and Woody stepped down, Tom Glavich took over with some other people coming from different clubs on and off. And the sales chairman was actually, the original one was Duke.
Okay.
Jim Hanna, and I'm trying to think who it was from Long Beach. I can't remember who it was from Long Beach, but they were the first sales chairman. And it's just, and the funny thing about the show is, so 35 years ago, the CSSA started this rule about no collected plants. And as a group, Woody and them had some great plants that were from Habitat, which you could still do it back then. So they created this show because you could show collected plants.
Right.
So now it's gone full circle where they're discouraging showing collected plants here and habitat plants. So the Intercity show really started because the CSSA adopted that rule that 35 years ago.
Gotcha.
And then the Intercity show was born because of that rule.
Okay.
Awesome.
And people don't know about that, but
I had heard that before.
Yeah.
I had heard that story. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
So so that's why. So but it's just gotten bigger and bigger, and it is what it is now. And I think it's probably the biggest show, certainly in the country, if not the world.
So what is it that keeps you coming back specifically?
I enjoyed sharing my plants and showing, because I before I owned Desert Creations, I would always, some years I was showing 100 plants. 150 I think was the most. I just really enjoyed showing plants, and then Desert Creations came around, so so now we became part of the vendors and stuff. And it's still mostly just about sharing plants and getting plants out to people.
Yeah.
And because I have a regular job, believe it or not, and so this is my part-time job.
You're Chippendales, right?
Yeah, dancer. I'm in the background.
Yeah.
They call me Chicken Thigh.
There you go.
Chicken Thigh.
Chicken
Thigh Chavez.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us. That's cool.
So so that's it. It keeps going stronger and stronger. I don't see it slowing down. And the hobby, it's kind of interesting how the hobby has changed just in the last year and a half to 2 years. It's nothing like it was. I mean, it took 10 years for it to change to kind of where it was 2 years ago, but in the last 2 years it has
leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
Well, I started getting seriously.
I think. Well, I have to agree with a lot of people that they're staying home and they're finding something to do in their yard. I mean, that was the pandemic, so these plants are just, a cactus is interesting enough, but then when it flowers, it's unbelievable. You've never seen flowers like that on anything. Maybe orchids have something that rival the flowers.
The first time I saw a cactus flower that I had, I was at first I saw something starting to happen. I thought, oh, there's something wrong with this plant. And then the next day it was flowering, and I was like, wait a minute, these things, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and like that Echinocactus horizontalunis, has these bright, vivid pink flowers. And you wonder, okay, so this grows in the desert. Why does it need to have those colors? What is it attracting to bring those colors in the middle of the desert to come and pollinate it, to make sure that it gets pollinated, that it gets, creates fruit and gets seed. So they're just interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you get into the succulents, which I'm more fond of, are the succulents. Is just the forms. Especially, I started off growing euphorbias and just the forms of euphorbias. And
yeah, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
He's a euphorbia nut.
Yeah, with the caduciforms, and I worked at a place called Singer's Growing Things when I was 14 years old, and at that time he was bringing in crazy stuff from Madagascar. Like, he was the first one to import Pachypodium ambongense and a lot of the Pachypodiums and a lot of the different Madagascar euphorbias. So I was exposed to that when I was a kid, and still really haven't lost my interest in them. In fact, I'm starting to regain it, because after all this time, I had a bunch of different plants that were just in pots, and especially like the enormous and sclerosa and clavigeras and those things. So they would just been growing in pots all the way to the top, and I unpotted them and staged and put them up, and now I have.
You're talking my language now.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, when I was 18 years old, I probably had 250 different euphorbias. And I was able to try. And go to Abbey Gardens, which was in Pasadena. Pasadena was in Santa Barbara with Frank Horwood when he was. And he
that's where the Horwoodii.
Yeah. And he was traveled all over the world. Was in England and came over here to Santa Barbara, and he just gave me this little tutelage on how to graft euphorbias, and I was like 16 years old, and he's sitting there showing me that stuff.
You really have been doing this for pretty much ever.
Oh yeah. For a long time.
Some stuff is so big, right?
Yeah.
Two large ones like that, at least in diameter.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right, good afternoon. Hey, I'm here with Woody Minnick. How are you today, Woody?
Hey, I'm doing good, Kevin.
Awesome. Now, this particular show, Intercity Show, has been going on for 35 years. You haven't been traveling from New Mexico for the 35 years. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I was in California all the years. My nursery was big here, and I started the nursery in 1975.
That's when I was born.
Wow.
46 years ago.
You're just a young guy.
Just a youngster.
But no, I started it in 75. And then I became very active in so many of the clubs. LA Club was my primary, San Gabriel and Long Beach, those were the three. We had a problem. I was the plant of the month person for the LA Club, and I used to promote people how to stage and to show, and I'd be the show chairman, so we'd have our shows at like the Topanga Plaza Mall and places like that. And we developed an amazing number of people who were great showers. Well, a guy named Fred Hufflitz, you'll see his name here and there floating around. He was the show chairman for the San Gabriel Club. And we were talking one day, and he says, "Oh man, I don't have any shower people in my club. We have this great place, the Arboretum, to meet, but we don't have enough people to put on a show." Man, click, click, click. The baller, is that what you call it?
The baller,
The baller in me said, "Hey, we have a fabulous number of show people, but we don't have a place to put on a show. Let's have a marriage."
So is that where the Intercity came to be?
Exactly. I was already familiar with working with the Arboretum, came in here, they said, yes, you can have a show. So we put it on in August, and it was a smashing success. Ever since then, it's gone like this. So we did it, I did it for either 17 years, I don't even know, but let's say 15 years to be real safe. I believe in switching leadership. You don't want to stay in a position too long. So I said, I'm going to retire from it, and I thought the ideal guy to take it over, Tom Levitch. But it's been 30 plus years for sure, and the show went like this. But the plants then were not as big, so they were smaller and more numerous, so to speak. But the people who showed, oh my gosh. And we did it with this is important, I think, to share with the hobby groups. What we did effectively at that point is that we got the people together, and I brought up, we want to bring people from Sacramento, we want to bring in people from San Francisco, San Jose, wherever.
Central Coast, wherever.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Took that barrier off the table to make the...
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've been talking a lot about the history of the show, but I would be remiss if we didn't discuss what is special about today. There's a little bit of history today. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
And Michael Dawson made an appearance and sang a cappella "Happy Birthday." It was pretty wonderful.
Michael did great.
What a great guy.
He's got a powerful voice.
Yeah.
It's my birthday. I'm 74 years old, and having people come up to me and say, "How'd you guys know?"
So
anyway,
kind of wrapping up the thing. So you've seen this grow and change over the last 35 years.
Yes.
What has been the biggest change, and kind of where do you see it going from here as the younger crowd comes up and the positions change and the culture changes? Where do you see this experience going?
Hunter's heard me say it. All the people who know me have heard me say it. It's all about the young people. You're our future. And if we don't promote the young people, then we may lose the future. So that is the big change that I'm seeing. But I'm seeing it across the board, not just here, everywhere. And you guys, you're going to make all the difference, in my opinion, of saving our world, saving our plants, saving our animals. And that's where my love is. Humanity, I'm going to say something that's very acidic, but it's my actual feeling. Humanity has got a wonderful side to it, no question. But I also look at us as kind of like a cancer, devouring the planet and not caring about whether we maintain or keep something alive and going. And I don't want to see that. I want to see us care about everything. And the young generations, you guys that are out there, you're doing that. At least a lot of you are.
Well, I think I speak for Hunter. I speak for the community. Thank you for leading the way, painting the path, for us to jump on this. If it wasn't for guys like you and, some of the other long timers, Peter W. and Petra and Stephen Dewey and the likes of a group like that, this place wouldn't be here for us. And so, we're grabbing hold of it super tight, and we're following the path that you laid down. So we're very grateful. We heard about an incident Wednesday that happened that was similar to that. With these things happening, can you tell us what happened on your ride in here?
All of you who have done shows, when I talk about shows, showing, and judging in my programs, I always talk about you need to remember how to pack your plants carefully, but I have flats on top of boxes that I did not protect from sliding.
So these ones that fell came from behind.
That's exactly.
So they had some momentum with them.
Oh, trust me. I was going about 65 miles an hour on the 210, and a guy pulls over 2 lanes, getting in front of people, and then he pulls right in front of me, and I'm like 5 cars back because I try to drive safely, and I'm going, shit, what's he doing? Pardon my language. And then all of a sudden, we slammed on the brakes. I'm 1 car behind him.
Yeah.
My flats literally flew across the front, right over my shoulder, onto the dashboard and the front window. 2 flats
exploded
everywhere. So once I finished with the brakes, then I could let off. All of them slid forward, and I was covered on both seats, drivers and passenger, with plants, pots, soil.
For the remainder
tags,
of your drive.
For the 20 minutes. So you got to be careful, and I knew better.
Yeah.
So that was an event. For those of you who are showing plants,
take your time to protect them.
Take the extra few minutes. If they're worth taking to the show, they're worth bringing home the way they left, before you took them.
Well, thank you so much, Woody.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
My pleasure.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Hope that was okay.
Around from the euphorbia section, we landed right in Thelocactus heaven here. We got some amazing Thelocactus. I don't even know how to say that. Lophotheli? Wow, that's beautiful. And then a Hexadrophos here.
That's a great
A fantastic cluster. I got to assume that's a Mark Muradian pot there.
Yeah, this is Thelocactus ringconensis.
That is fantastic.
Absolutely gorgeous. And that's super nice too. Wow. Woo! Look at that boy.
Chubby Wubby.
I see this little pot of lithops here, terry-colored lithops by Louise Stack. And what caught my eye about this is that she's got trash in there with it. So there's rusty bottle caps and broken glass bottles. And you know what's funny is that's actually a really good, sad representation of what it looks like. A lot of the desert habitats, even you'll be way, way, way out there, and you still find evidence of garbage and stuff, like plastic bags from supermarkets floating on Joshua trees and stuff. Maybe my favorite stage plant.
Look at that. This is Haworthia Correcta. And I mean, this to me looks like if Tron had plants, this would be the type of plants that they would have in Tron. They'd be like glowing and changing colors and stuff. Gorgeous.
Now, this is a beautiful Stenocereus aruka, known as a creeping devil, and these are endemic, or I don't know if they're endemic, but they definitely grow in Baja. A friend of mine was just down there and sent me some photos of these in habitat. Now this particular specimen, I actually have a cutting off of this plant. This was grown by a friend of mine, Tony Marino, absolutely exceptional local grower. And that's a beautiful, beautiful plant, staged basically exactly how it would be growing. Wonderful. That's Turbine Huarenegii, and that is, you want to talk about hard growing? Hard growing is basically when you grow a plant to have it look like it does in the wild. And you can see this thing is, I mean, it really looks like it's growing in the wild. The substrate, I'm not quite sure what it is. It's probably got some clay, some sand, and the plant has actually receded into the soil. Holy hell. There's a couple of these like this here. Very cool. See, look at this. This is an Obregonia tenegrie, and this is the result of hand watering and never getting the fluff wet. I mean, that's the only way you can make this thing look this way. Holy moly. You can only imagine how old that is. And you have all these little offsets coming off the side there. You'll never see a plant look like this in habitat. This is just the miracles of cultivation right here. Top notch. That's copiapoedura barquitensis, I believe. That is one heck of a specimen. Woo! And then right behind it, you have another copiapoedura, which I believe that is Peter Wilkowiak's, or Peter with Plants. I believe that's his plant. I mean, these are just, what do you think, man? Pretty crazy, huh? Look at this thing. Just a white basketball. Enormous copiapoedura. And I heard that the guy that this belongs to grows it. It's just sitting on his diving board.
Okay, we're now into the euphorbia section, my favorite section. We got a killer buprofolia there, and some other similar medusoids, stellata, poissonii, beautiful. There in that one, man. Those are.